Holy fuck, this girl just got shot in the fucking head. It's so fucking crazy. So I had to go grab a gun. I'm fucking headed back. Fucking so crazy. Some kind of mass shooting. Fucking guy had a heavy caliber weapon for sure. Saw a girl fucking get shot in the face right next to me. Her brain's fucking hanging out. Stupid ass me didn't bring a gun. They got one of the guys. I'm headed back. I don't think there's much I can do. So headed home. For all you people texting and calling and everything, I'm fine. Pretty fucked up night. That girl's fucking If you hear snaps, that means it's coming by you. If you hear a crack.
I heard a crack, dude. Hey, the security's boning out.
Jesus Christ, you want help?
Dude, don't fucking, you know better than that.
I'm just saying, I don't know who the fuck you are. I just showed you my credit.
That's fine, I don't.
All right, so there's a lot of different stories on this guy. There's a lot of different points of view, a lot of different opinions. Seems like either you like him or you hate either you like him or you hate him. Basically, I think the guy is just a total narcissist. I think he's a total fraud. I think he's a guy, he's one of these guys who can't just be happy with the fact that they got millions and millions of dollars and they inherited it. And for some reason, he's got some kind of personal drive where he feels like he wants to earn people's respect by doing some great thing or like, I don't know. And he's just one of these guys who lies to get people's respect. He reminds me of somebody who never grew up mentally. He reminds me of somebody, he reminds me of those kids in grade school who were obvious nerds, or you know what I mean? Like they were just not nerds like wearing pocket protectors and let's do math kind of nerds, but nerds who just didn't have any friends. You knew that they just didn't have that capacity to make jokes and to kick it with the guys and hang out and all that kind of stuff. What they really were is just kind of sheltered kids who were afraid of life and who were afraid of not being liked. And you could just sense it all over them. That to me is what Dan Bilzerian is. And everything he does in his life, whether it's working out or I heard he got ab implants. I don't know if that's true, but he works out. He's got a decent physique. So, at least props to him on that. But everything he does is centered towards getting people to like him. So this dude apparently is an heir to a multi-millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. I fully don't know his story. It's out there. People know his story. Apparently his dad is some kind of, either he's a lawyer high up or some kind of like stock trader or something. I don't fucking know, but his dad has got millions, if not billions of dollars. So Dan is a trust fund kid, and he apparently first thing he did, which was fraudulent and a lie, was he said that he won all his money playing poker. Well, that wasn't true. So apparently what happened was he was actually playing poker, but he was spending his daddy's money. And maybe he won some money, whatever, but he didn't start out earning that money or working and putting up his own money. It was his dad's money. So that's very, very, very unimpressive. It's not that hard if your dad has hundreds of millions of dollars to go out and gamble. There's risks, sure, but it's not like, oh, if I lose this hand, I'm going to get kicked out of my home kind of risk somebody like Chris Moneymaker went through to get his money, to win his millions in poker. I used to watch a little bit of poker, so I mean, there's so many, I don't know. So I just threw Chris Moneymaker out there because he was kind of famous back in the day for winning it at poker. So I'm sure that Chris Moneymaker started out at ground zero with nothing, working and saving up his money and then going to poker tournaments. And I think you have to have like a minimum of 20 grand on some of these tournaments to even go into. So obviously somebody like that started from the bottom. He didn't start with money. So this guy started out with money, went into playing poker, and then because his mind is the kind of mind that he has, where he has to feel accepted by everybody, he later on hyped it up like he did it on his own. And I think he even spread this rumor that he made all the money on his own or something like that. And then they found out, he got exposed, that his dad was multi-millionaire. So that's a huge lie. That's a huge, dramatic, drastic lie that only people who are damaged mentally, narcissistic to the point where they believe their own lies can even move on and recover from. A normal person who would tell a lie like that and get exposed, you probably wouldn't hear from them again, because it would be a normal reaction to run and hide. Dan didn't really run and hide. He kept perpetuating more lies. Okay, like he lives this amazing life with these Instagram models and these amazingly beautiful supermodels, whether they're Instagram models or whether they're real models. It's beside the point. There's thousands and thousands of girls out there who are looking for a rich man to throw them a bone, period. And if you're an Instagram model, you're probably looking for that even more. Because you don't make much money off Instagram as a woman. You do porn, or you become an escort, become a stripper. You gotta kind of, even if you're that kind of woman, you still kind of gotta work for it. Although in this day and age, men will just give you money for free just to even have any contact with you, because that's how lonely some of these men are. And there's rich businessmen who will pay millions and millions of dollars for one night with you, which is insanity. But this is the world that we live in. So this guy takes these Instagram models, or these, whatever you want to call them, wherever he got these models, these escorts basically, which is what they are. And yes, they're gorgeous. They're some of the most gorgeous women in the world. But you also have to think, like, how shallow are these women? They're just as narcissistic as him. All they care about is their body. All they care about is their looks. So he's not winning. I mean, he's not like, maybe he's having sex with these girls, but he's paying them. So he's not earning it. And it's his daddy's money. So when people say like, oh, he's living this amazing life and you're just jealous, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'd live that life. I'll take it. If it was offered, sure. But he didn't earn it. So he shouldn't have respect connotated onto his name. Okay? He should not have respect attached to his name. It's not a matter of respect when you're using daddy's money to sleep with high-class escorts and take pictures of it and act like, ooh, this is my life and I earned this. You didn't earn jack shit, dude. You're a fucking fraud. And not only that, when I watch this guy's interviews, first of all, his only claim to fame, or his only claim to anything honorable and respectful or respectable, is when he went through Navy training, trained to be a Navy SEAL. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of props for having the balls to at least attempt that, even if the only reason you attempted it was to make people think that you were in the military, which is obviously all you did. The only reason you went into train to be a Navy SEAL is to say that you did it. And of course it makes sense that your legs were hurt. Oh, you hurt your legs, really? Well, that's why when people did an investigation on you and did an investigation on your time in the Navy SEALs, the reason why they actually kicked you out was because you were unsafe on the firing range. Google it, read his story. He got booted out because he was unsafe on the firing range. I heard another story that he got booted out because he fell asleep on post or something like that. So I don't believe for one second his whole story of my legs, I had shin splints and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Sounds to me like you manufactured a story so that you could make yourself look like you tried to be a hero. You tried to be this great person. And in reality, you failed big because you're an asshole. And then you went back and you lied to everybody because, yeah, the military isn't invested in telling everyone everything that happens during training. They don't have time for that. But, we got a high profile guy like Dan Bilzerian. So it makes sense that, somebody's got to say something. So it makes sense that he would be able to fly it under the radar, though. And nobody would check on him. But people did check on him because he is a high profile character. And maybe he didn't think that would happen. People did check on him. Turns out he got let go, discharged, because he was unsafe on the firing range. And the other explanation that I heard was he got let go because he fell asleep on post. So him claiming that he did 2 tours or 2 he liked to make them act like he'd like to make them out like they're tours, but in reality he trained maybe twice and he got booted out both times. I don't know how that's possible. I don't believe his story for 1 second. With this when he did this video with Graham Bensinger or whatever, I'm watching it. Look at his face when he's asked that question. He starts sweating. He's got this nervous look. Then he starts with his little spiel and he's got this believe me look, like believe me, I'm telling the truth. And he skirts around the question pretty well. And of course, he's had lots and lots of time to think of his excuse and think of what the reason why. Okay. The reason why he didn't do that. Or the reason why he didn't graduate, whatever, or actually become a Navy SEAL. I had 2 days left. Bullshit. People are saying he had, I think, 3 weeks before he was even done. So I don't know the whole timeline and how long it takes to train and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how long he was actually in there. Beside the point, he's banking on the fact that people aren't going to do their research. People did do their research. The truth is out there. And he has been constantly defending his position, defending himself and saying, everyone is just a hater and look at my beautiful life and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, I would understand. Like, if you just want to be Hugh Hefner, cool. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, great. You got women. That's your only claim to fame. At least be honest about it. But don't try to act like you're a hero. Don't try to act like you earned respect or you earned something in this country. That's the biggest douchiest thing to do ever. Okay? Don't do that. And this is exactly what he did. You want to be Hugh Hefner? Be Hugh Hefner. Great. Go fuck a bunch of slutty escorts or most gorgeous women in the world, and you're paying them. They're not willfully hanging out with you. That's absolutely retarded. Okay, you're Hugh Hefner. Why did Hugh Hefner get women? Because he had millions of dollars. He paid them to be there. Okay, so you're not a player. You're not a respectable, you earned those women. Bullshit. You're a dude who had a bunch of money from your dad, and you maybe won some more money playing poker. Doubt it. Beside the point, you had a bunch of money from your dad, and you're just using it to buy whores. Okay, that's a great life. Live that life and just be honest about it. Don't try to get everyone to respect you like, oh, I gotta do something. I can't just be this little nobody. That's when I look at you and I think you got mental problems. Because it's like, why? Why? Why would you even, though your whole story is crazy, why would you even try to go into the Navy SEALs if your dad has multi-millions of dollars? That's like throwing away all his work. You're throwing away a beautiful life. Why? Like I look at you and I just think this guy has self-esteem issues. This guy has issues where he's too much of a pussy to actually go into combat, or too much of a pussy to actually get through training. I highly, 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 highly doubt that his story is real. Everything that I've read says nothing that he was discharged because of medical reason. Said everything he was discharged because of because of his attitude. He didn't fit in with the other SEALs, and that's important. That's important to them. They want you to fit in. That he couldn't fit in because he was very selfish and he was going into the military for selfish reasons. You're exposed. You went into the military because you were trying to build up your own ego. You're not even just your ego. You're trying to build up your reputation. You're trying to build up how people looked at you, because for some reason you couldn't just be this dude who inherited his dad's money and now he's having sex with 10s every day, 5 10s a day. Like, you couldn't just be that guy. You had to go out and you had to try to make yourself look more than you were, which is a total fragile attempt at anything that is remotely honorable or anything that is remotely respectable. People who are real heroes, guys who are really, they really have good character and they really deserve respect, they don't ask for it. They don't shove it in your face. In fact, that's something that's very wrong with this country, is that we really don't honor those who really deserve it. People who really deserve it go unnoticed. Guys who are real heroes go unnoticed because they're not out seeking for it. They're not in your face saying, hey, look at what I just did, which is what you're doing. So it's pretty clear that the Navy picked up on your little narcissistic attempt at honor and respect for your country, which is really just, you have this childlike mentality where you're like, oh, I want respect and I want everybody to think I'm so great, but you don't want to actually suffer and you don't want to actually put in the work to actually gain any kind of real honor. And to tell you the truth, there's not a lot of real honor, because a lot of times those who are really honorable, who really went to Vietnam, who really went to Iraq, those guys come back and they're nobodies in real life. They're nobodies. Because we don't honor people in our culture who went to war. In fact, we dishonor them many times. We honor douchebags like you, Dan Bilzerian, who have women in their pictures. You're nothing but a playboy. You are nothing but a fraudulent playboy, okay, who tried to lie his way into some semblance of honor, and you got discharged, and then you came back and you tried to say that you was for medical reasons, when in reality, you probably never wanted to go into real military. Anyways, you said it yourself, I was so sick of the military. Why were you sick of the military? Why were you sick of the military? Oh, because maybe because I was injured. Really? No, you were sick of the military. That's the only truth that you told. A lot of times you'll find the truth within a big lie. The only truth that you told, Dan Bilzerian, was that you were sick of the military. You were sick of the military because you never wanted to go in the military in the first place. You were sick of the military because all you wanted was that label to say, I served, so that you could go to your douchebag people that you hang out with, where you go to these kind of concerts and you can talk big shit about how you served in the military, and you can act like you're a fucking hero when in reality you're a trust fund kid who never grew up, who's spending money on high class escorts to hang out with you and have sex with you. It's not because you're good looking. It's not because you live such an exciting life. You would have no life if you didn't have all that money. Your life is funded, your entire existence is funded by all that money. Try having no money. Try doing that and see how far you get. See how far your beard will get you. Because it ain't going to get you that far. Trust me. So let's talk about this, what he did. The whole reason why I'm making this video, really, I've never really given Dan Bilzerian, much thought. Okay, he's a dude with a lot of money who's a douchebag who lied, and now he's got a bunch of Instagram followers. Like, wow, amazing. But the reality is that you have to be a narcissistic creep to even think like, yeah, I'm going to take all these pictures with these gorgeous women. I'm going to put them on my Facebook page and my Instagram so that I can get a bunch of followers so that people can think I'm cool. You're the kid whose parents spend thousands of dollars on a birthday party. And he's like, I want to invite everybody so I can show that I'm special. And I got this cool birthday party and I can make everyone happy because I'm going to have all these fun things to do. And then everyone's going to like me. Instead of just being a good person and having a few friends and having some people like you, you want everybody to like you. So you try to win everybody over with all your money and all cool, like, it's so textbook. It's so pathological and textbook. Anyway, so let me get into why I actually even made this podcast in the first place. So really what tipped it off was one of the first videos that I saw of the Vegas shooting was Bilzerian running like a coward, and which is hilarious that he would think I'm going to record this so I can show everybody where I am and how much of a coward I am. And I'm running, and he's running, and he's got a cell phone video pointed at himself, and he's like, some woman just got her head blown off or something like that, which is horrible. And that's terrible that happened, but you're running away from the problem. So what happened was everyone was like, look at this coward, da 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 da. And then he had to go back to make it look like he wasn't a coward. So this is just quintessential Dan Bilzerian, quintessential narcissistic, pathological, fraudulent, lying behavior. Oh, I messed up and I showed this video of myself running away. Immediately, he's probably on his phone. Okay, he's got some little sidekick with him later on in the second video, but in between that time he's probably on his phone, so he posted that shit, and then people were like, oh, what are you doing running away? Or I don't know, maybe he realized that he was running away, and then he realized, oh shit, I just posted that, people are going to think I'm a coward. So then he runs back, so he goes back, and he's like, he's got to try to be a hero now. So here's the thing about this video. First of all, he's well out of range. He knows that they're not shooting at him at that point, or who's ever shooting is not anywhere in his vicinity. As he's running back, he stops at this cop car to make sure everybody's okay, apparently. So now he's in like hero mode. He's in, I gotta act like I'm a hero now. So now he's in this hero mode. And as he comes back, he's the thing to note about that video is that he's well out of range. No bullets are whizzing by. They're not getting shot at. So he's well out of range. You can still hear it, and he's still in the vicinity, sort of, but he's not in any proximity to where the bullets are being shot in that vicinity. So he's out of range, and he got somebody, this is what's crazy about this video, is that he got somebody to hold his phone. He's like, my friend was holding my phone. Really? Your friend was scared. Your friend was like, let's get out of here. And you're in hero mode. You're like a little kid, man. It's like, this is why you shouldn't respect people like this. This is why celebrities and these type of people are not really worthy of respect, because it's all phony. It's all phony. Everything about this is phony. The poor guy who he got to hold his phone is scared shitless, you can tell. He's like, let's get out of here, man. And Dan Bilzerian's like ignoring him, and he's just like, he you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Eric Cartman. Reminds me of Eric Cartman from South Park. How like egotistical and narcissistic Eric Cartman is. Eric Cartman is the type of person who would like get Butters to film him. If you watch South Park, you know what I'm talking about. Eric Cartman would get Butters to film him as Eric Cartman fakes being a hero. This is exactly what Dan Bilzerian did. He got his friend to film him while he's like running around like, oh, I'm big hero mode. And the douchebag runs over to this, he runs towards the firing, which you don't have a gun. What are you doing that for? Why would you do that even if you did have a gun? You're not a cop. You're not really trained military, even though you think you are. You didn't pass. You didn't spend a significant amount of time in any combat or in any training or in any, combat military situation like that. All you did was you went through a few weeks of basic training for Navy SEALs, maybe a few months. I don't know. Point is, you're not a career military man. You're not a career cop. You're a playboy. Okay. So what the fuck are you doing? You're probably putting other lives in danger, including your own, which is retarded. Like, you're not a hero to go put your life on the line. If you don't have any training and you don't even have a gun, you don't know what you're doing. You're really just going to cause more confusion. Cops are on the scene. And this is what the cop said. The cop was like, okay, so he goes up and he runs up to this barrier. The cops come and he's like, give me a gun. It's like, how retarded are you? Yeah, the cop's just going to give you a gun. Who are you? I don't know who you are. You could be a terrorist. You could be somebody who you could be somebody who's part of the, of the melee. And like, a cop is just going to give you a gun. You're an idiot. And yeah, the cop shut him down. He was like, fuck you. I don't know who the fuck you are. Get out of here, you idiot. You're smarter than that. You know better than that. So the cop basically scolded him like he was a child. And Dan Bilzerian stupidly just, okay. And then the video ends. And his friend, the whole time, you could tell his friend is terrified. His friend's like, let's get out of here. And Dan Bilzerian pretends to ignore him because he's in portrayal mode, and he's in his little, I'm in my little hero zone. I can't hear you. Like, you're full of shit, dude. Here's the thing. What are you doing? Why would you do that? Why are you trying to get people's respect? First of all, you outed yourself that you're a pussy. You outed yourself that as you're running away from a girl getting her head blown off. If you were really a hero, you would have grabbed that girl who got her head blown off and tried to save her life, because you can take a headshot and still live. Okay. She got, I don't think he said that she got her head blown off. I think he said she got shot in the face or something like that. He's like, this girl just got shot in the face or got a shot in the head right next to me. Okay, well, why isn't she in your arms? You don't want to get blood on your shirt? What's wrong? I thought you were a hero. Pick her up. Carry her to an ambulance. Oh, but that's right. You can't pick her up and film with your iPhone at the same time. Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't have picked her up. You should have just ran and filmed and made that Instagram post with your iPhone. Good job, Dan. Real hero. You're a fucking clown, okay? Everybody knows you're a clown. You messed up. You filmed yourself running away like a pussy. And then you wanted to make up for it because you're so stupid. You posted it and you didn't realize that you shouldn't have done that, because it made you look like an idiot, made you look like a coward, which you are, for not picking her up and racing her to an ambulance. Yeah, I don't know if I would have done the same. I would have got the hell out of there. But I certainly wouldn't have filmed myself running like a pussy. Hopefully not. And that's what you did. And you tried to make it up, and you were well out of range. So you were like a kid who was playing war in his backyard. Dude, just stop. Just stop. And anybody who respects this guy, just stop. He's a fraud. Everything about him is fraudulent. And if this isn't proof, then you just want his fantasy life so bad that you justify following him and supporting him, because you just want to be rich and have all those women around you. And that's how delusional you are. Anybody should know his true character by now. I guess the moral of the story is, be careful who you put on a pedestal. Be careful who you lift up, because these type of people, these celebrities and all these people who are so rich and so supposedly happy and living these charmed, great lives, a lot of them are just frauds on the inside. If you're really so great, why don't you just enjoy your life? Why do you got to post it up everywhere to make, oh, everybody look at me. Look at me. I got all these models. Like, who cares? Apparently, people who are chasing a dream care. Apparently, people who who want a better life. So really, you're just this dude who's dangling this cool life in front of people. It's, you know what you're like? You're like a fat person with KFC going and just eating right in front of a bunch of starving Africans. That's what you're like. That's how much of a douchebag you are, Dan Bilzerian. You're not bringing people over and hooking them up with your girls and hooking up random people, random fans. You're a dude who wants people to like you. You're a prideful egomaniac. You think that you're a god. Okay. You just, I don't know, man. You're everything that's wrong with America encapsulated in a human being. You're a coward. You're a braggart. You are boastful when you shouldn't be. You're a liar. You're a narcissist. Okay. You're probably a lecher. I don't know how you stay as healthy as you do. I'm sure you screen those girls for STDs and you go through a very complicated process with your lawyers to even qualify these girls. Okay, because when you have that kind of money, you're able to do those kind of things. So you obviously eat well and take good care of yourself. So I get it. You're living life, but morally, you're bankrupt. Morally, you have no integrity. You have nothing that is worthwhile as a human being. Okay, and you're just dangling your life in front of everybody like the piece of shit slob that you are. You are everything wrong with America, and this video really just exposes you as a coward and really kind of a loser, to tell you the truth. I mean, you might be winning outwardly because you got money, you can take trips, you can go on jet skis in the Bahamas or wherever the fuck you go, Fiji or whatever expensive place you take these women. Great. But do any of them love you? Do any of them really care about you? Hell no. And if they love you, it's because they love what you can do for them. It's not because they love you for who you are. Okay? You're a douchebag. End of story. That's all I got to say. I think you guys get what I'm saying. I just, it's just, I just shake my head. I shake my head that there's people like that out there who exist.